Right then, Liam. Live watch along Chris Kongo against Mosquera, I think is
Yeah, I'm
how
going off
you
of Adam Smith's pronunciation, so I'll go Mosquera as well.
Yeah, is Adam Smith working the fight on Saturday?
Yeah, so he's been announced as the lead commentator. So no Todd Grisham, no Mike Costello. Adam Smith
Wow.
looks like, after me saying the other week I'd like to see him come onto the DAZN team with Queensbury moving over. Looks like someone was watching No Punches Pulled that week and they've got him on early. But yeah, Chris Kongo now after Adam Hamid, Prince Nassim's son, delivered a very impressive performance. Actually, he dropped his man twice on the way to Lièvre, waving it off in the
Yes.
fourth round. He looked spiteful tonight. There was an accusation after his fight on the Wembley open workout card that he was not sitting down on his punches properly. He was a bit too much tap tap tap, but he was spiteful tonight as Kongo's opponent's record comes up here as 5-20-1. I think that just kind of shows the standard of what we're dealing with here, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be up to too much.
The enigma of Chris Kongo, though. So he is a boxer fighter, at least we forget, ladies and gents. Was told after being on the Wembley card he would get a big fight at the end of this year. I do think he probably had bigger things in mind than a 5-20-1 opponent on the open workouts of Saudi. So be interesting to see what the reasoning is behind that. If they are planning to get him into a big fight at the start of next year, won't it? They've obviously got the London card at Wembley Arena. Could we be seeing something good for him on that possibly if he comes through tonight?
Yeah, definitely. I don't think Mosquera can classify as a big fight, can it? To be fair,
I mean, to be fair, Ben didn't say what would make the fight big, it being in Saudi or what. That could be what he meant. He just promised he'd get him out to Saudi.
He is headlining a show in Saudi, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, in front of some lovely looking pyramids. It could be in Egypt for all we know. What I haven't heard is how many rounds this is. I think this might be 8 instead of 6.
Six.
Is it 6?
6-rounder.
As far well, let's hope. I mean, Chris Kongo on the Wembley card had a similar opponent, didn't he? And struggled and went the 6 rounds. Didn't look like getting him out of there. I mean, Chris, if you could get a stoppage, I think that would be appreciated.
Yeah,
as we're underway.
Against this guy would need a stoppage if we're being...
Sorry, left hand straight away from Chris Kongo. He's not hanging around here. He's going all in.
Well, the guy shouldn't be in the ring with him, really, if we're being completely honest about things, should he?
I mean, Mosquera, we are getting a lovely view of his underwear because he's let his dog at his trunks by the looks of it. His bits hanging out all over the place. It's good job it's after the watersheds, but yeah, this isn't going 30 seconds in and you can already see the difference in skill. Chris Kongo is going to work on Mosquera already, who hasn't actually thrown a shot in anger yet. He's just been trying to get his hands in the way of Chris's shots.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, but yeah, my point I just made is interesting because Chris was told he'd be on that Wembley card with then the view of him having a big fight at the end of this year, which we just joked and said he's headlining in Saudi. But if we're being realistic, that big fight hasn't materialised, has it?
No, not in the slightest.
I mean, it's a 6-rounder, so that to me would indicate that if he comes through this well, being on that February the 1st card at Wembley Arena probably isn't that far out of the question.
He's a big fight, doesn't he, man? He had the Florian Marku win, didn't he? And it's all been a bit hush-hush since then.
Maybe that's the rematch. Marku on that card wouldn't surprise me. Florian Marku, I mean, putting Florian Marku on that card would be a masterstroke because the Albanians of North London will buy tickets and come out and they'll help pad out the tickets that are sold. And then obviously if you give Chris Kongo his rematch in there with him as well, then you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone, aren't you?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it does make sense when you think about it.
From both a commercial point of view and obviously for the boxers as well. Kongo is in complete control here. Mosquera has not thrown a shot. He's just shelling up, trying to protect himself from these shots that are coming his way.
It's just going to be a case of whether Kongo can get him out of there, isn't it? I think that's kind of...
Yeah, that's the vibe we're getting. I'm just going to do a quick box rec check to see how many times Mosquera has been stopped. Because obviously
easy 10-9 that for Chris Kongo.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Okay, so although he's lost 20 times, Mosquera, he's only been stopped once.
Yeah, Kongo's not a big puncher, is he, either, to be fair, so,
But that was this year. That That was this year at York Hall against Daniel Francis. He retired due to an injury at the end of the first round.
So he's never technically been chinned, shall we say.
Yeah, but I will say I question whether he had an injury because he was back out fighting 3 weeks later. So,
Yeah, bit dubious.
Interesting career for Mosquera. So won his first 4 fights when he turned over, won 4 on the spin, lost 3 in a row, won another one, and then everything since then has been a defeat apart from a draw, which was in November. So he had a draw last month over 4 rounds. So that's quite an interesting record.
Pretty active, isn't he? He's a journeyman that, he's probably just been brought in there to try and take Kongo rounds, isn't he? But Kongo's not really a finisher anyway.
Yeah, right. Some names on his record that we recognise: Cameron Vong, Matthew Rennie, who went in with Noakes the other week.
Yeah.
Sam Hickey.
Yeah, look, he's a journeyman then to start pros off. I've no idea why Kongo's fighting him in Riyadh. It's a bit bizarre, isn't it? Well, it's very bizarre.
This is his 14th fight of 2024.
Activity levels
through the ceiling.
Inactivity kills.
For the Colombian residing out of Venice in Italy, who is a big fan of boxing on the UK small hall circuit. He's fought at York Hall 6 times this year. Couple of trips up to Liverpool to fight at the Grand Central Hotel. Yeah, his record makes for interesting readings.
Oh yeah, his box rec's a good read. Keeps them busy.
I wasn't expecting such a good read when I went onto his box rec there. Anyway, 30 seconds into the second round, Kongo's letting the shots go to head or body. I mean, you look at Kongo's record, so 16 wins, 2 defeats, 7 stoppages on that of those 16 wins. He hasn't had a stoppage since 2020 when he stopped Luther Clay in the 9th. So there is probably an accusation you can make that he is more of a grind you down, win on points than a stoppage.
He's a decision merchant, Kongo.
Yeah, that would be the accusation you could throw his way.
He's just, his point scoring, even in this fight, he's jabbing to the body, and there's just not any spite in any of these shots that he's throwing in. It's almost like a sparring session.
It was Jacob Quinn that he fought on the Wembley undercards. 59-55 referee scorecard for that fight.
Right.
So, look, it's a shame.
Back-to-back Riyadh season, midweek cards.
I think ultimately 2024 will go down as a bit of a damp squid for Kongo because he beat Marku on the Wardley Clark 1 card, didn't he? Which was May. And then since then his activities been 2 6-rounders.
Yeah, it's bizarre. I didn't like a body shot there, Mosquera. No, actually, his hands dropped a little bit.
I mean, it's difficult to say what's going on behind the scenes, if there is something in the pipe works for him. But, yeah, it'd be interesting.
He's not exciting, is he, if we're just being truthful? No, that's always going to go against him.
Another body shot. Sorry, mate.
No, that's all right. Yeah, it's 2-0 to Kongo, easily. Not even, Mosquera's not even in it.
Yeah, Kongo is... Just looking, so obviously he's welterweight, he's 147. In the latest circular from the Border Control, no, Harry Scarf, Conor Walker, which we know about. The winner will then have to defend against Liam Taylor, who was in line to fight Harry Scarf before the board made an exception for the Conor Walker fight. So he's not mentioned in the British circular, which is interesting. In terms of trying to see what's next for him.
Yeah.
Nor is he mentioned in the English circular, which is obviously held by Sean Noakes. So, yeah, interesting to see what they're going to do with Chris Kongo.
I don't think he's got a whole lot of options, to be honest. I really don't. Hence why he's headlining these midweek Riyadh season cards. That, if we're being truthful, no one really wants to be on. Not when you're an established pro like Chris Kongo. If you're like Adam Hamid, fair enough. He's still learning his trade.
It made sense for Adam Hamid at Wembley and again tonight. It made sense for Cameron Vong to be in the Wembley one as well. Like, there's fighters it makes sense for. Chris Kongo being on the Wembley one because we were promised he had a big fight before the end of the year made sense. Doing it twice in a row, it's sort of asking questions, isn't it? Like, what is going on?
Yeah, 100%. It really is. And especially when he's kind of dragging out 6-round decision victories in them as well.
Yeah, it's not.
Obviously we're only 3 rounds into this one, but
yeah, right. I've just gone through the English, British, and European circulars, and none of them have Chris Kongo mentioned in. So he's not lined up immediately for any of those in the first half of 25.
Missing wildly here. Yeah, that's that. It sounds about right. His career's just stagnating, isn't it? Completely.
Yeah. Something I've just seen. George Lydiard's opponent on the January 31st.
It's Ozzy.
It's Ozzy. That's a very good step up.
Good step up, yeah. He'll beat Ozzy, I think, as well. Kongo's ripping the body a bit here. He's looking a bit sharper.
I think he's seeing here that his way of probably getting the stoppages to the body. If we're going to, Mosquera, if we're going to have one criticism, he is leaving his body. He's protecting his head well, but he's leaving the body open. So you'd expect a pro with Kongo's level to identify those things, wouldn't you? I say a pro with Kongo's level, but you get my sentiment. He's held a British title before.
He needs to push for some kind of statement here because, he may as well have done 6 rounds in the gym.
Yeah. Interesting. Rhys Edwards didn't work out yet because he's not arriving in Saudi until 2 a.m. Saudi time, which is midnight UK time. So the reason we only saw Peter McGrail earlier was because, Rhys Edwards is not in Saudi Arabia yet. He does not arrive in the kingdom until, another 3 hours' time. So
when did he get announced? Yesterday?
It only got announced yesterday, didn't it? But obviously, no, it got announced Monday night.
Monday night. I'm surprised he wasn't able to get a flight yesterday.
Yeah, well, I thought that. I thought, why is McGrail working out first? Maybe we're going to see Edwards afterwards. But I've done a bit of digging, and that's the reason why he's not landing until later on tonight.
Luckily, the time difference isn't horrendous, is it? Difference, so he's not going to be too.
No, and I mean, when he'll be fighting, which is probably 7 o'clock UK time, it's only 9 o'clock Saudi time. So it could be a lot worse for him. Yeah,
he's just going to have to, get over the fact that he's sitting still probably for a good 8 or 9 hours.
He'll be in business class. He'll be able to have a walk around. He'll be getting look. Turkey will look after him. As Kongo has Mosquera back against the ropes, he's going head to body, but look, they don't look like they're the most hurtful punches, if you get what I mean, mate. He looks like he's tapping rather than looking for a takeout finish. Yeah,
it's 3-0 here to Kongo, a canter, isn't it?
Yeah, Kongo is in second gear. He's probably thinking the geezer that he's had in sparring for the last 6 weeks would have been a better option for tonight rather than Mosquera, but he's here under the lights of Saudi Arabia. You never know; he may have a ticket to watch the card ringside at the weekends, which might.
I would want one.
I would if I was going out there, mate. Actually, we joked about Ben Shalom needing to get Rhys Edwards on the card to get out there. Who are we kidding? He'd be out there for this, won't he? Ben.
Yeah.
But no, on a serious note, as we look at the Kongo corner, he's. Look, his nickname
have gone just for this. A 6-rounder for Kongo. Would Shalom have gone just for a 6-rounder for Kongo?
Shalom will do anything to keep his face in a shop window with Eddie and Frank, won't he? He thinks he's missing out on things when he's not in the room with them for 5 minutes, so he's not going to give him a whole week together with Turkey, is he?
Yeah, that's right.
He'll
probably be on the same flight as Rhys Edwards, I would say.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, taking the mick, but also being slightly truthful because he has come out in interviews and said he does feel like he's being left out of certain conversations, etc.
Yeah, look, that's just the way it is, I think, when you're in the game at that level.
Yeah, come on, it's a bit more established.
And they're both with the zone now, so they're able to even, keep them on the outside even more.
Oh yeah, it's becoming even more like a working men's club with with the conservative club across the road trying to get involved, isn't it? With if you want
handbags, isn't it? It's all handbags.
But
I have to say this fight isn't greatly entertaining.
It's rinse and repeat, but fortunately we have other stuff. While we're here, talk about Opetai's opponent being announced.
Yeah, in Yika, if that's how you say it.
It's interesting. There's a lot of people today.
10-9 knockouts.
Yeah, look, another matchroom fighter. So he fought on 2 Saudi cards.
Yeah, I noticed he was on one of the Riyadh season cards. It's Australia versus New Zealand as well.
A lot of people moaning about it, but the other thing you got to remember, it's a point I made in No Punches Pulled last night. Flying over to Australia is a 24-hour flight. That's a good 3 or 4 days to adjust your body clock before you can do anything. Anika is probably, he's held a WBO global title from a dig I done earlier. He's probably the best option of a very select bunch you could get at this point.
Yeah.
Like, look, we're never going to get sparkling. Like Conor Williams stepping up was probably the next best you were going to get up, but he only fought last week, if that makes sense. Like, it was a very small pool you were going to get over to Australia in this time frame.
Yeah, he's a big unit as well. He's 6'6".
Yeah, and look, for Anika, it's a 3-hour flight across the Tasman. It's not going to cause any jet lag. His time difference is a couple of hours, so it's the best option than trying to drag someone across the world.
Good enough fight, to be fair.
I think it will be.
He can bang, if nothing else.
I thought Mosquera was going down then, but he's regained.
I think he's savvy enough to survive the full 6 here. I don't see.
The body shots are starting to have some effect. He was a body shot that just made him sag.
Yeah, Kongo's loading up a little bit more. Mosquera's having to pop back in at the end of the 4th round, but again, nothing major. Easy round again for Chris Kongo.
I think you're slightly ahead of me. I'm just getting to the end of round number 4 now. But yeah, look, it's, I suppose, what you expected from Chris Kongo in we know what he does, if that makes sense, and this is what he does. But you look at what's in the other corner, a guy on his 14th fight this year who fought every weekend apart from one in November. That's the standard of this.
Yeah.
Respectfully, as disrespectfully respectful as I can be, this guy is having his medicals done by a doctor after weighing in on the day of the fight. Not this, Chris Kongo is a serious professional that's had contracts with both Matchroom and now obviously Boxer. Not to say that Mosik isn't a serious professional, but he's obviously chosen a different route for his career in comparison to what Chris Kongo is.
Yeah, he's a paid journeyman.
A well-seasoned journeyman.
Right, then 2 rounds to go.
I've liked this edition, the last, 3 of the last 5 Saudi shows that we've had on these midweek cards. We had it, the first one was in California, wasn't it, on the Madrimov Crawford cards. We had it at Wembley, and now we've had this. I do like it. It adds a little something different to fight week, doesn't it?
Yeah, look, to be fair, they have been, this one's probably the weakest, if we're being honest. The last one was okay with Vong, and Kongo was on it as well, wasn't he? But yeah, look, this one's been pretty poor, if I'm being genuinely honest about it.
Yeah, I mean, this one was more last minute. We knew the one in Cali and the one at Wembley was coming from a few weeks out. This one, a few weeks ago, there wasn't even any whispers of it, was there? So
yeah,
this one does have a bit of a feel of it's been thrown together even more last minute. Adam Hamid is stolen this mini fight card for me. His performance and stoppage in that last fight was showing that spitefulness that we have all hoped we're going to see from him.
Definitely. Kongo's stepping right on him in round number 5. He's looking to get him out of there.
Yeah, I think he's just had the rocket up his backside in the corner, telling him to get it done.
Yeah, you need to go out and stop him. You're doing nothing for yourself if you just, if he's going to 6-0 him if he doesn't stop him, but.
He's had to. You need to stop him. Hurry up! In his corner, also telling him that it's nearly midnight and they quite like to go back to the hotel. So he's had a bit of both. But yeah, I agree with you. All body shots again, uppercut. I agree with you, mate. This has probably been the weakest one we've seen, and without the stoppage from Adam Hamid, there's a danger every single fight went the distance on this mini card. So
yeah, I'm not asking for genuine world level 50-50 fights on these cards. Definitely not. I understand their place, and they do have a place, but maybe slight better opponent for Kongo than a 5-20 would have been nice.
Yeah, I mean, look, yeah,
you know what you're going to get. You're just going to get someone who's a journeyman. Journeyman's job isn't to win a fight; it's to survive rounds. That's what they're paid to do.
Yeah, mate, and you're completely right. And this is the thing: we're not saying for a second we want to be seeing flipping world title fights, British title fights, etc., on this card, but the level of matchmaking on the Wembley one, for example, was much better than it was for this one. I can't recall the Cali one off the top of my head, so I won't comment on it.
But, yeah, I can't myself either.
I mean, look, let's run through the card we've had tonight. So Luke Bibby, Jordan Ellison was 7-0 against 15, 55 and 5. This one is obviously 16-2 against 5, 20 and 1. Levi Barnes against Ramiro Garcia Lopez was 7-0 against 18 and 17.
Yeah, so it's just journeymans against prospects, isn't it?
You had a guy making his debut, Dark Stallion, which was Brian Rose, and what's his name? What was Brian Rose's trainer's name? Bobby. Oh my god.
What was his name? It's going to annoy me now.
Blackpool. Yeah, it's going to annoy me. Is
Bobby Rimmer.
Bobby Rimmer. Yeah, so Bobby Rimmer and Brian Rose. That was their charges debut against a 2-8 fighter. Right, and then Adam Hamid's opponent was 3-4. So look, it's been a certain level for this card. Actually, I can get the Wembley one up because I can go underneath to.
Yeah, Wembley was Vong, Kongo, and someone else. I can't remember.
Adam Hamid again.
Adam Hamid, that was it.
So for that one, Vong against Joe Underwood Hughes was 5-0 against 8-3. Kongo against Jacob Quinn was 15-2 against 8-4 and 1. And then it was Hamid was 2-0 against 4, 32 and 5. So that was a bit lopsided, but at least Kongo and Vong had a slightly better caliber of opponent in there.
Yeah.
What's going on here? He's saying he's got a problem with his foot. He's not come out of the corner, has he?
I must be slightly ahead of where you are.
Yeah, you are by the looks of it. I just realised you kind of looked like you knew what was going on. But yeah, look, we're not saying we want... I mean, the card in California actually has a North American title belt on it, so the equivalent of a British title. So, they did... There is room, clearly, on these cards for a 10-rounder if you want to go down that route. But, yeah, look, who knows?
Get some match or,
carry on next year, and hopefully we see better standards.
Yeah, look, you don't want to take any shine off the actual show on Saturday. I get that, but
you've upgraded this one from a 3-fight card to a 5-fight card. We needed at least one fight to get us a little bit excited.
I'd say there's about 5 people watching it in Riyadh as well.
Are you excluding or including the broadcasters in that?
The referee.
Lee Every's done every fight apart from this one. Bob Williams has just sat there, so it's just the two of them there, officials-wise, because they're not using judges, are they? So you just had Bob sat there for 4 fights, and now he's coming to do this one.
Yeah, this has actually been sparring, this Kongo against Mosquera.
Yeah, it has, and I mean, did we expect anything different? No, but it's frustrating, I think is the right word.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Almost as frustrating as Tyson Fury taking 20 minutes in a boat, putting his boots and gloves on to take his gloves straight back off and only give one-word interview answers.
Yeah, he should have known something like that was coming, definitely.
Maybe I was naive enough to think when the gloves were going on, he was going to rat-a-tat-tat for at least 20 seconds. Wasn't expecting him to do a full workout. I missed Usyk. I don't know if Usyk actually did anything himself.
No, I didn't catch Usyk either, to be fair.
He probably done a bit of juggling, didn't he? He's the fan of doing his workouts.
Definitely.
Yeah,
final bell approaching then in what wasn't the best fight of all time.
But we're still here covering it. Can't get rid of us.
Boxing on a Wednesday night. What else would you want? And that is that. We've gone the full 6. Somehow, some way.
60. If this is anything other than 60-54 to Chris Kongo, I will be
surprised. Yeah, it will be 60-54 to Chris Kongo. I don't really think there's much else, mate, that needs to be said or covered about that one. But
other than reminding people that we're going to come back tomorrow after the press conference.
Yeah, well, yes, potentially some presser reaction tomorrow night. We'll maybe do some final thoughts Friday, and of course Saturday. All systems go for the live watch along. So yeah, we'll catch. Oh, maybe some more prediction shows as well potentially.
Yeah, we've got a couple more fights.
A couple more to cover on Friday. So yeah, we'll see you later on in the week, everyone.